And then the last step, is this a function? I'm going to erase this. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at something called a vertical line test. And just as a side note, let me show you something. Like a relation is not a function if you have an input. Let me go back to the mapping diagram because I think that's the easiest one to see. If you have your input goes to more than one output, let's say it goes from 2 to 1, and 2 also goes to 3. As an ordered pair, it would look like this: 2, 1, and 2, 3. That's my ordered pairs for this relation. So again, this is a mapping diagram. And now if I look at these 2 points, if I were to plot these 2 points, because again, we already know this input, if it goes to more than one output, which I drew here, it's not a function. So I'm going to draw these 2 points. I'm going to plot these 2 points because that's what represents this relation on this graph. So I'm going to put it in blue. So 2, 1 would be right 2, up 1, which would be right here. And then 2, 3 would be right 2, up 3, which would be right here. Now notice that we have one point stacked on top of another one. If you imagine like a vertical line, so something like the y-axis, right? If I were to move that y-axis over here, you can see that that line would pass through both points. And this is what we call the vertical line test. If you can draw a vertical line anywhere on your graph where it would pass through more than one point using a vertical line only, not a horizontal line, but a vertical line only, if it passes through more than one point, automatically is not a function. And again, you can see it connects back to the idea between each input can have only one output at most. So if it does have more than one output, when you draw it out, it's going to look just like this where they're stacked on top of each other. So if you draw the vertical line and it passes through more than one point, you know it's not a function because the vertical line test is pretty much checking for this in a visual way. I'm going to use this pencil here for a vertical line test. So vertical line test, so you could just imagine if you were ever passed through like all the way across your function, check if it intersects more than once at any point. And you'll see that it never touches more than once. This is the vertical line test. And when I say touches more than once, look at the difference. If I were to do it horizontally, again, this is not the right test, but I just want you to see the difference. If I go through it here, you can see this line or the pencil goes through it twice. It touches here and here, right? You can see the pencil intersects with the function more than once. So, but this is not the horizontal test. We're looking at the vertical line test. So again, we're only checking it this way to see if it touches more than once. And if it does ever cross it more than once, you'll know it's not a function.